Let's listen in.
Red flag already. Damn, drop this.
Like I said, I don't have a
shot.
news story, so I can't be sure, but that guy sure looks like he took the backyard temperature challenge. We're going to watch it one more time and see what happens.
What did he
here.
get shot at in the head or like in the back or
backsliding.
In Spanish.
What it is and what it isn't. Hi everyone, welcome to today's research-informed defensive lesson here at Active Self-Protection. I'm your host, John Correa. I don't know where this one came from. I did my best Google foo, could not find a news story. It's all over social media, but again, no news story. So if you have a news story on this one, please put it in the comments so that I can add it to the description. To win the fight after the fight, you need help. After a use of force, I trust Firearms Legal Protection to help me win the fight for the rest of my life. From their 24/7 attorney answered hotline to coverage for the use of all legal tools, Firearms. Middle of the day, we have two guys with hoods on and masks on who are, attempting to open the back door. We do have audio here so we can hear the timing of how everything goes. Let's listen in.
Red flag already. Damn, drop this.
Like I said, I don't have a news story, so I can't be sure, but that guy sure looks like he took the backyard temperature challenge. We're going to watch it one more time and see what happens.
What did he
here.
get shot at in the head or like in the back or
backsliding door would be my guess. As the one guy tries to enter, they certainly notice somebody inside the house. That person fires a single shot. That shot sure looks like it was fatal to me. The other guy ran off.
Damn.
I'm going to say here in the mid-roll that Castle Doctrine is widely, completely misunderstood. So we're going to talk about that here on the lessons, in our lessons, and what are the standards here for the use of deadly force. But if you want to deep dive on that stuff, it's always over in the Active Self-Protection Extra channel. Just remember, don't ask, can I shoot someone? Ask, must I? So let's remember a couple of things about being a good, sane, sober, moral, prudent person and defending your home. Again, every state in the union has some form, whether in black letter law, case law, about a castle doctrine. But be very careful here, because what that means is you get certain presumptions in your home. It doesn't mean you can do anything you want. Again, if a Girl Scout comes, and opens your screen door and comes inside to sell you some Thin Mints, you can't say, oh, she broke into my house and she forcefully entered and shoot her.
Nah.
Or the 85.
See, I live in Florida, so this probably go for. I live in Florida, bro. If somebody enter your house, you don't even have to see no weapon. You can shoot them, bro. Your property, your car, anything.
Stumbling in
unless
because
I'm wrong,
she's
y'all
having
correct me in the
dementia,
comments if
and you go,
I'm
well,
wrong.
she broke into my house.
Florida
so you shoot her.
ground.
Don't do that, friends. You're going to get prosecuted for that. Or, if you shoot it sounds
in the
night,
night, forcibly
and it turns out
enter
it's one
into
of
your
your
house,
teenager's dumb friends, you can very well get prosecuted for that. So just be careful with that, right? However, if somebody breaks into your home, you have this presumption that you can't retreat further than inside your home. So even in the few states that have a duty to retreat, your home is as far as you can go. So you get the presumption that you reasonably believed that deadly force was necessary if somebody who you don't know like this is making a forcible entry into your home. Now, what constitutes a forcible entry? That is using really kind of any amount of force in order to enter your home. And with nefarious intent, because your home is considered an occupied structure if you're inside it, certainly if somebody is inside it. So that now we're not talking about a pure burglary, really. We're talking about a home invasion, though in most state laws, they're still treated like burglaries. So again, every state law will vary just a little bit here, but you get presumption inside your home that you were reasonably at fear of death or great bodily injury. I want to note here that this homeowner, I'm going to assume homeowner, but home occupant, when the action starts here, he waits until the door is opened. And I think that does give you some additional reasonableness here. That it wasn't just, I saw these guys through my back patio window and blasted them, but rather I waited, I waited until the last possible minute that the door was breached and I had to shoot them. Otherwise, they were coming into my home and I was sure that they were going to do me great bodily harm or kill me. And we don't hear anything to this effect. I don't know if the homeowner made any verbal commands, but I really think here you are best served by
I'm
issuing
glad I
verbal
stay in
commands. If
Florida,
you've got
so I
time,
don't
you see
have to
him
really
fussing with your door.
listen to
Hey,
all this, bro.
I have a gun. I'll defend myself. The police are on the way. Of course,
And
you'd be
I'm
on
glad
the
I
phone
live
with
in Florida.
911, right, to let them know that you have some people trying to break into your home. Get out of my house. Get away from here. And if that scares them off, which it will for a lot of these home invaders who are simply trying to be burglars and steal stuff, if they're really after you, sometimes they'll still come in, but very often, if anybody's home, they're gone. So I think that would be a good path to try to avoid the use of deadly force if at all possible, because of course, this is going to be a costly thing. You're going to have to hire attorneys. You're going to have to worry about your future for quite some time on these kinds of incidents. So if you can avoid it, I would avoid it, okay, if at all possible. But I think here, again, because the door is open, he's more reasonable because they have broken and entered. They're not about to. They have entered the home via breaking and entering. So, okay, that is reasonable. Now, I also want to mention here that some people are going to say, yeah, but the guy is running away when he shoots. But note when he makes the decision here. If we back up a half second from when the shot breaks, that's when the decision is made, right? So we know under complicated situations like this, complex decision-making, not simple decision-making, but complex decision-making, that there's a 0.56 plus or minus 0.08 delay between when the stimulus is received to make the decision and when the action actually happens. So from when I have to, this guy needs to be shot, to when I make the decision, program the action, send that action to my hand, and the shot breaks, is about a half second or even a little bit more. So if we back up a half second, this is what the homeowner sees, is two guys at his front door coming in the house. Now, of course, when we go forward a half second, a lot has changed in that half second, and our guy is going to move, and he's going to be moving away. And so we have to understand how video works.
Hit his ass
and
one
the fact
time.
that it's a witness to what happened, but it's not its
he had
own
to get hit in, like, his
objective
spine or
reality.
something.
It is
That
simply a
nigga
witness to
instantly
be
locked up, bro.
interrogated, to understand what does it show me and what does it not. It doesn't show me exactly what the homeowner saw. It doesn't show me what the homeowner was feeling. It doesn't show me what was in the hands of these perps or what did he perceive reasonably was in the hands of these perps. So it does show us a lot. And here I think it shows us somebody who I think the objective evidence could certainly reasonably believe that he was at risk of death or great bodily harm. Now, it sure looks to me like he hit this guy in the central nervous system, like maybe he hit him in the head. Did he intend to do that? I don't know. Haven't gotten to see any news stories on the homeowner or anything like that.
I ain't seen no other shots.
Yeah, you can't count on luck, but luck counts. But whatever it was highly effective. So this is why I believe firearms are a very useful tool against two home invaders. Do you have a reasonable threat that, hey, these guys coming in my house mean me death or great bodily harm? I did fear death or great bodily harm, and so I had to act to protect myself. I think the answer to that is yes, and pretty easy to defend. I think the last thing that I really like here is, at least till the end of the video, our homeowner did not go outside to inspect his work. He didn't leave the premises of his home and go out there to inspect. I certainly hope and assume he's on the phone with 911, waiting for the cops to arrive. You're hunkered down, you're in a defensible position, you have worked hard, and at risk of your life have established dominance in the space that you are in. Stay in that space. Keep that dominance up. When officers arrive, okay, officers are here, they're on scene, they are knocking at the door, then you go, open the door to the officers without a gun in your hand. But until that time, don't go out looking, because you don't know where his buddy went. You don't know however many more buddies there are out there. You don't want to have a second gunfight. If you can at all, avoid it. I think this homeowner did a pretty darn good job. I think, again, against multiple home invaders here, that you have disparity of force, somebody invading your home, they forcibly entered your home, even with not a lot of force, that gives a reasonable person a reasonable perception that their life is at risk, which would justify the use of deadly force. And therefore, I think this is a pretty good job this guy did.
Boy, breaking into a home in 2025, you asking to get hit up. You tell my co-watch this 1,000 times and smile. Stupid ass niggas.